Hey guys, this is a 6th October question answer series discussion. Let's see the very first news, guys. First question. The first question is European Union and India shares a tripartite of business, humanitarian and democratic interest. You have to comment on this statement, right? Now see guys, the question has been asked about European Union and India's kind of relations, right? So relation in which aspects? Business, humanitarian and democratic aspects. Now you will have to deal with this three things, that is business, humanitarian, democratic aspect at three different stage. That is fine, that is clearly written in question. Now you have to also, for starting, what you can do is starting the question answer, you can write a fact about European Union and India's relation. What kind of relation we both share. Like we both are kind of two largest democracies, and we both have the responsibility towards a conducive liberal global order which will increase the multipolarity manifold, right? And mutual development goals are also being shared by both the countries, because both the countries are aspiring for development in near future. All right, so that's why we are having increased coordination and interest on many aspects, and we will deal for now, as of now, the business, humanitarian and democratic interest. Now business point of view, the share of investment from both the countries to other countries are getting increases. Since India is the hub of IT sector, then the BPO service and the knowledge processing outsourcing service and the other software services are being they are being given to European Union by India, right? And both the EU and India are looking for Eurasia connectivity, and the example also you can incorporate here is by international north-south trade corridor, that is not only meant for connectivity to Central Asia and Russian countries, but through Russia to Eurasian countries also, right? So both the countries are aspiring for increasing connectivity for both the regions, and both want to open its market to each other's good and slash tariffs with some restrictions. So these are kind of answer you can put. And of course last point, I don't think that I need to make you understand about this, right? Next is about humanitarian aspect, guys. See, humanitarian aspect is what you can write from the current affairs. I've taken one point, is that we are facing a common challenges of modern slavery, both the countries, right? Which is being and this report has been done by Walk Free Foundation, which is a Australia based foundation basically. So we just have to eliminate this modern slavery also. Both the countries are home to migrant communities, because often it has been seen that both the countries has given the shelter to refugees, all right, or migrants, all right, and both are environmentally conducive to achieve highest human prosperity, all right, and create egalitarian and just society. Means since both the countries are democratic countries, that's why we are aspiring for it. But this thing is, the very first point is not aspiring for the countries like China, because China is having kind of authoritarian rule, right? Because that is a single party rule. But we both our countries are democratic countries. That's why it is said that we both are aspiring for the egalitarian and just society. So these are the humanitarian angle you can write. Next is democratic aspect, guys. Both the countries are pushing for multipolar world, because now at time it is being seen that one pole is being achieved by this United States, and second pole is it is being established by China somewhere, right? So both the countries are lying in between. So both the countries want that we will also develop ourselves, all right? So both the countries, we are pushing for multipolar world. Both are having liberal values such as open, tolerant, equal and just politics, as well as we are upholding the relevance of multilateral institutions and rule-based system for pushing towards a consensus. So this is the angle of democratic interest, what you can write in an answer. At the very end, in conclusion, what I have written, and I will not pressurize you of course to write this answer, but whatever the point you get, you can write it, right? What I have written is that both the countries have the potential to transform the global order to promote a just and rule-based global system, all right? But as well as we have many sectors of mutual development, all right, and those are not being asked directly through this question, because this question asks for business ties, humanitarian interest and democratic interest, right? but you can write these things like renewable energy challenges are the challenges to both the nations. Next is women empowerment is also a challenge, and governance region is also a region where both the countries are coordinating. And see guys, these points from where I have extracted, I'll tell you, I have extracted from PIB news, daily PIB news, because in daily PIB news you often see that many MOUs are being signed with different countries. All right, so these are the glimpse which you don't remember by heart, but it automatically comes into you because you have read it somewhere, right? So that's why the reading PIB is very, very, very important. All right, next question guys, let's move on to next question. The next question asks, for low-end manufacturing has a potential for productive skill friendly employment and enhancing national policy goals. You have to analyze this statement. I mean, this is a statement given, you have to analyze it, right? So before analyzation, see, one keyword is here, that is low-end manufacturing sector, right? You just have to first explain that thing. Next you have to return that how it has potential of productive skill friendly employment and enhancing national goals, that you have to write. And since analyze thing is given now, if you are writing the challenges part also, that will add on to your answer, right? And what I have included more angle is that the government initiative for the promotion of this low-end manufacturing sector. All right, and at the very last, since it is a problematic question where there's a problem, you can see this problem. All right, so how to deal with that problem? So if you are writing that way forward point, that will add, of course, add as an add-on to your answer, right? So let's start the answer guys. Low-end manufacturing sector, what is it guys? It is a labor intensive sector which gives employment to huge chunk of population. All right, and especially scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and Dalit peoples are directly associated with, and it gives a huge unskilled workforce in India. All right, means together overall it gives huge unskilled workforce. I mean, the workforce who are not skilled, they can get directly employment in this low-end manufacturing sector. All right, and now let's deal about the potential, how it has a potential of skill-friendly employment and enhancing national policy goals, because it is an employment generating capacity which solves the unemployment crisis which what is presently seen in our country, as well as since it gives employment to a huge chunk of women population, so that why it acts as a tool for women empowerment also. It engages the landless laborers, agricultural laborers, which further reduces the stress on agricultural economy. All right, next is the, since it gives employment to huge chunk of society, so the quality of living of people are getting increases because their salary is increasing. All right, so ultimately it will reduce undernourishment and malnutrition. All right, next is forex earner guys. Yes, this is a very important point, that it is acting as a tool of forex earning. You can earn forex reserve from this low-end manufacturing sector, because low-end manufacturing sectors are the sectors which are including a huge chunk of unskilled labor force, and to unskilled labor force you can provide a normal, very less salary you can provide them, right? So if you are giving the less salary, then you can bring your product in market at a very cheaper rate. All right, and if cheaper rate is there, then of course your product will be competitive in the market, है ना? So other countries will ask for your market because they are getting it at a very cheap rate from Indian market. All right, so that's why it is being said that it acts as a forex earner also. Now let's see the challenges. What are the challenges we faced in setup of this low-end manufacturing sector? First of all, we are losing competitions by the countries like Bangladesh and Vietnam. In which sector? Textile sector, and that is also low-end manufacturing sector, because all textile sectors are not high-end manufacturing sector, right? Because in textile is a sector which gives employment to a huge chunk of society, as well as unskilled people are also included in. All right, so you can incorporate this in this answer, right? Next is connectivity, market access, and access to finances are also getting easier. I mean, these are also very hard to get, for the promotion of this this low-end manufacturing, or the development of this low-end manufacturing sector in our India. Next is administrative irregularities are also there, because often there are allegations that it is but that by the government there is red tapeism. All right, due to which the people are not getting conducive environment for setting up of those industries, as well as the businessmen from outside the nations also don't comes to India, right? Next is labor laws. Labor laws is a very important point guys. Here I'll try to discuss with you, because often it is being allegations are there that since there is no stringent and good labor laws, so it cannot, I mean, this low-end manufacturing sector has failed to attract the amount of labor that is actually needed. All right, often allegations were there, so you can write it as a challenge point. Next is what I've said already, that I'll try to include the government steps, what the government has taken up till now for the promotion. See guys, government has said that okay, we'll promote this sector, and for this we'll make duty free zones also. All right, and if you will set up your business in these duty free zones, then we will provide will take less duty will charge less duty from you people, so that you can make it available in the market at a very very cheaper rate. All right, next is autonomy to states has also been allotted by the government, so that states are able to getting fund from international institutions also, right? And since the state will be able to get fund, then state will, under their jurisdiction, the state can set up a low-end manufacturing sector. All right, and it will be much more better. I mean, prospects are much more clearer and much more transparent in case where there is involvement of government. All right. Next is, recently we have already discussed about Northeast summit has been organized in Northeast. So in Northeast summit also, Ministry of Donor has announced that okay, if you will set up your business or any manufacturing sectors in Northeastern region, then we will be providing you certain credits and all, right? Next is, what is the need of now? As we have already discussed, since it is a problematic question, so if you are giving the any sort of way forward point, then that will be acting as much add-on to your answer. So what first point we have included here is, microfinancial institutions must be promoted, which must be based on self-help group model, because self-help group model has got a huge success in India, right? So that from self-help group model, these microfinance institutions must provide funding. All right, so that there will be not NPS situation for the banks also, as well as people will get fund, and they can increase their business in whole market, right? Next is vocational training and Gramin Kaushal Vikas Yojana, and whatever the other yojanas being implemented by the government, you can include it here, and you can write that it must be promoted by the government at a full strength, right? Next is about Doha Agreement of World Trade Organization, guys. So you can incorporate this also, because this agreement has certain provisions where there is a level playing ground for different countries. All right, so that the manufacturing sectors of different, or the business sectors of different countries can compete within themselves, within their region. All right, so there are few provisions in Doha Agreement. So those agreement, if implemented, then also it might prove to be a boom for our low-end manufacturing sector. And also with European Union, if we are signing free trade agreement, then that will also be enabling duty-free access for many of the Indian products to European market. And of course, if there will be facilitation of the European market, then we will be able to promote our exports also, which is the aim of the government, because government is running the Make in India program. So these kind of answers you can incorporate, points you can incorporate in your answer. All right guys, so yeah, these are the analysis of 2 questions for today. We'll meet in next class. Till then, bye bye, take care, and thank you for listening to me guys. Thank you very much.